This right here is the highest pub in Britain, the Tan Hill Inn, sitting alone in the Yorkshire Dales at 1,732 foot high, or 528 metres. I have just spent the last 6 days cycling my way through the 370 miles from Bournemouth on the south coast of England to get to the highest pub for the highest pint in Britain. But now we must continue our pub run. And where else could we possibly go from the highest pub? That's right, the lowest pub. Just over 200 miles away from the highest pub sits the Admiral Wells in a village of Holme near Peterborough, sitting just 9 feet or 2.75 metres below sea level. There is only one thing left to do. Starting our day out with some good old Yorkshire Dales bog. Nice. Well guys, that is a very boggy start to the ride coming through the Yorkshire Dales. Today's plan really isn't to get too far, maybe do 20-30 miles. We're obviously starting at Tan Hill and we're sort of heading through the Dales until Skipton, which then it pretty much gets all nice and flat and downhill from there. Obviously the Yorkshire Dales is a little bit hilly, but it should be fun. Now it has been very boggy, the first little section, but we have just found some nice bridleway, nice gravelly track, so long may it continue. Happy days. I don't want to do too many miles today. I've been on the road now I think 6 days, so today I want to make sure I get into camp before it gets dark. The last few nights I have not been able to manage that, so today we've got to do our best to manage that. Right, let's continue. Let's hope we get some nice rideable, gravelly, fun stuff. And the views today are beautiful. The wind is starting to pick up, but it's on my back, so I'll take it. Let's go. Well guys, I've definitely chosen the path less travelled for sure. Mostly it's been hike a bike today. We've only done about 7 miles so far. It's currently about 3, so we've got a couple more hours. Probably just going to try and get to like 15 miles or something, maybe 20. I don't even know. Today is just about making a little start, making a little dent into the lowest pub bikepacking trip. But if I spot somewhere really good to camp, I'm just going to stop and camp early because I want a nice early night. Now, before we conquer these couple more hills behind me, have a little snack. Now, if you've watched the previous bikepacking to the highest pub, you will already be familiar with this trailside snack. And as we are in Yorkshire, we have a Yorkshire pudding with some beef. Good. Now, there might be a lot of hike-a-bike so far on this trip, at the start at least. But I mean, just look at these views. It's just absolutely beautiful. There's just a gentle breeze. It's quite warm, it's mild. It's just like the perfect day to be here. There's nobody in sight, just nobody around. It's the way I like it. It's just beautiful. Right, I'm gonna have my Sunday lunch and we're gonna go and find somewhere to camp and hopefully get a few rideable miles under our belt. Right, let's go. Right guys, you probably can't really see me because, well, it has got dark quite quickly. It's only just got dark. It is only about 5:15, half 5. We didn't do that many miles a day. We did just a little 15 miles. But a nice little start nonetheless to get us on the way to the lowest pub. I found this beautiful camp spot. I'm high up, but it's really calm, it's really quiet apart from the birds, and I'm gonna have a nice long sleep, a good 12 hours I think, pretty much. And for dinner I have got it's not against us, it's a chili beef Jamaican pate, but it says flaky pastry, so I might eat that in the porch of my tent. Don't want to get my home messy, do I? Right, I'm going to chill, and I'll see you guys, as always, bright and early in the morning. And hopefully tomorrow we'll see a bit of sun and we'll make some more progress towards that pub. Right, I'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning guys, good morning. I have, get that out my, well, good morning guys, good morning. I have woken up with the ability of not being able to breathe out of my left nostril, so that's fun. Wow, what a beautiful sky. Last night was absolutely beautiful. It started really cloudy, and then all the clouds just disappeared, and then the little sky was just twinkling with all the stars, and it was beautiful. That did, however, mean it got pretty cold, because I mean, my tent's all frozen. I'm not sure what it got down to, but definitely below 0. Forgot to mention last night, but I am camped up by, like, the nearest place is a little village or town called Reef, I think it's called. That's just basically over there. You can literally see it from up here. Today we've got about 30-35 miles of the
Yorkshire Dales left. We're definitely going to try our best to get through there. The great thing is with a route like this is because we start at a high point and we finish at a low point, it's just going to get progressively easier. Well, it should. Hopefully. I'm going to get this tent packed up and get underway. It's nice bitterly cold wind out there today. Let's go see what the trails have in store for us. Well, the outer of my tent is completely frozen rigid. The wind up here, it's not blowing right now, but when it comes, it is so bitterly cold. Whew. But yeah, fun times. My tent is frozen solid. Nice. It might be on the bitterly cold side, but this is what makes it worth it. This is what makes winter bikepacking worth it. Seeing that sunrise, blue skies, icy, frosty, crunchy grass, and just look at this. This is where I camped last night. Absolutely beautiful. And now, even better, we get the sun. Happy days! Right, let's go and see what the rest of the Yorkshire Dales has in store for us. Hopefully it's nice and rideable. The start yesterday wasn't very rideable, but it did end up becoming quite nice and rideable. Lots of steep stuff, but lots of fun rideable stuff too. Right, let's go and enjoy this beautiful morning sun. Nice. Cold descending down there. Right, I was going to go a little bit further and stop for breakfast. We've actually done like 6 miles, but I can't resist stopping here with this view of Boston Castle. Absolutely beautiful morning. The lush winter sun is there. It's not exactly hot, but it is just nice. We're going to have another one of these chili beef Jamaican pate things. And I'm just going to chill here for a bit, and then we're going to, I think today we've got maybe like 2 or 3 more long slogs of climbs, and then it's like a really nice downhill into Skipton. The plan is to get at least to Skipton and a little bit out of it, hopefully. We hit the canals for a little bit after Skipton to get through all the built up places. That's the unfortunate thing about having to go to this, where this lowest pub is. It's in kind of all these built up places. Oh well, I'm going to enjoy this castle, eat some food. We're going to crack on into this beautiful, absolutely stunning morning. Let's go. hiking up the steepest thing ever, with the views are bloody breathtaking. I'll give it that. When we reach the top of this hiker bike, that's the highest point on this route. So technically it's all downhill from the top of this hill, but it's really, really steep, and it's very, very tiring, especially when you can't breathe. Well, I'm on top of the world. I can't see a bloody thing, and that hiker bike was long, grueling, and probably the worst hiker bike I've done in a very long time. And now we get to go down, which doesn't look much like it's actually rideable because I can't see a bloody thing. Oh my god, everything's downhill now. Please, I hope, I think, I don't know, let's go. Right guys, we are now in Skipton, so all the hard stuff is behind us, thank God, because that hiker bike just broke me today. I just been feeling rough. Even descending was just tiring. But luckily we get to cruise along the canal for a bit now, so we'll be able to make some easy miles up and just chill a little bit. There's going to be zero chance of me being able to get to camp, I'm pretty sure, before it gets dark, because I've got to head towards Bradford and try and get through there, hopefully get through the other side, unless I find somewhere really good before, I'm not sure yet. But we're going to have some oranges. We're going to try and get rid of this cold before we get to the lowest point, which should be, I'm thinking, not tomorrow, but the next day, if all goes well. I need to lube the chain, eat some oranges, and then hit the canal. And the sun is shining and the skies are blue. Happy days. Right, on we go.
Good morning guys, good morning. I cracked on into the night last night just to get through all them built up areas, and I'm very, very glad I did now, because we managed to cover about 80 miles yesterday. So I'm currently sort of just past sort of Wakefield, and we're past the busiest areas now, so that's good. I'm currently camped up in this really quite nice woodlands. Well, I must have been tired, because literally as soon as I set up camp last night and I put my head to the pillow, I just flat out passed out basically. This is actually day 7 of actually being on the road, and today is a day all about just getting as many miles under our belt, because this should be the penultimate day. We have about 125 miles to go, so if we can get that down to as low as possible, that will be great. And the good news is it's all pretty pedally, flowy downhill now, technically, according to the Komoot elevation. This woods is nice and foggy this morning. It definitely got down to around 0 last night, but I was nice and toasty warm in this tent, and I really could just go back to sleep and sleep here all day. But it is time to get up and see what the day has in store for us. Come on, let's go.
what an absolutely stunning morning. We've done about 20 miles and we are just coming through a place called Mexborough. We've been riding along the Pennine Trailway all morning, glorious in that winter sun, absolutely beautiful, the crunch of the frost. It was bloody nippy though. Just found a Lidl and we've raided their bakery. We've got some croissants, we've got some apple turnovers. Really are the goats of supermarket bakeries. We're gonna have some apple turnovers and some croissants. Today I want to get as close to possible to the lowest pub. I would like to get just before a place called Stamford, and that will leave us like 20 to 30 miles depending on where we end up camping, but that would be ideal. Now we've done 20, we've still probably got another 50 to do, but in total we've got 107 miles to go, so I need to crack out a lot of miles. Luckily for me, the trails are all flat and rideable. Well, they have been so far, so I'm hoping they continue that way. Such a glorious day. The sky is now blue, the frost is melting, and it's warming up. Time for some breakfast, and then let's keep cracking through these miles and get to that lowest pub. Food time. Guys, today is just so good. My mind, my body just feels really good. The day is beautiful. This morning we've been finding all these little hidden gem bridleways and cycle tracks. Just beautiful, nice and easy, nothing too strenuous, and it's just been generally really fun. I've done about 40 miles and we've got about 85 to go until we actually reach the pub, so I'm still going to do another 40 today, but I'm feeling really good. I think sometimes your body just decides to shut down or something, because last night I got into camp, set up camp, had a little wash, had a little bite to eat, and I don't remember anything after. Putting my sleeping bag, getting into my sleeping bag, putting the hood of my sleeping bag on, and then the next thing I know it was like 6:30 and I was waking up. Yeah, so I think my body just decided enough is enough. We're sleeping completely through tonight, and that was much needed. Done 40 miles a day, and we're now at a place called Clumber Park. I'll put it on screen. Just outside a place called Worksop, and now we get to cruise through some nice woodlands and just generally have a nice time. The weather is absolutely gorgeous. There was a bit of a headwind earlier, but while we're in the trees I can't feel it. It's warmed up as well, 8 degrees, coat is off, gloves are off. Summer is on the way. All right, we're gonna cruise through the woods. Oh, I'm just feeling so good today. Maybe it's just because I know we're so very close. Today is the penultimate day, and tomorrow we will get the pint at the lowest pub. Let's go. Right guys, we are smashing through their miles today, feeling good still. We are currently at Newark-on-Trent. I've done about 66 miles or something like that, and it means we've got about 60 to do in total until we get to that lowest pub for the lowest pint. But the sun is just setting right now. It's absolutely gorgeous here. The sun is just beautiful. The weather's just been so good today. It's like the best day. Now I am gonna ride into the night a little bit longer, do another 20, maybe 30 miles, drop that down so we have a nice and easy day tomorrow. I'm really hoping to get a camp spot in the woods tonight, because I think there's something to be said about sleeping among the trees. I think you just generally get a better night's sleep. Definitely did last night, and I want an even better one like that tonight. So, but around here there isn't too many wooded areas, but I think on the map where I come through, it looks like there is going to be a few sections where I come through where there's some wooded sections. So that is the plan, that's the hope. But yeah, we're gonna go riding into the night again for just for a few hours. I mean, it gets dark so early, so yeah. Just cross for me, I will find a wooded, sheltered area to camp in tonight. And as always, I will see you bright and early in the morning. Oh, well, good morning guys, good morning. And then birds are chirping away nice and early this morning. They will not shut up. Try and sleep. Well, last night we rode into the night to crack a bunch more miles to get us as close to the lowest pub possible. And well, after a few route deviations, a few muddy bridleways, I am pleased to say I did over 100 miles. I did about 103 miles, I think it was. And that means we are less than 30 miles away, something like 28 miles until the lowest pub. I'm currently a few miles away from Stanford, actually a few miles to there, and then going through to Peterborough, and then down to the lowest pub. It should be a pretty straightforward day. Last night got so foggy, I literally could not see a thing, but we managed to actually find a nice little wooded area, and it's a lot drier in here than it looks like out there. But that sky this morning is absolutely beautiful, and I think we are in for another beautiful day, which is perfect because we've got a very easy day. Just 30 miles. If nothing goes wrong in these last 30 miles, today will be the day we have gone from the highest pub to the lowest pub. Let's get packed up. Let's make a move. Cheers.